Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. I'm your host, Woody Overton. Today, my co-host is
Cyndi Overton.
That's right, y'all. She's back in effect. Jim Chapman and I are not in the studio together again, but we'll be next week for the Real Life, Real Crime Daily. I'm in Alabama as you're listening to this at a Polygraph conference. So we're recording this early and getting it out, and some pretty crazy stories, right?
Yes, some very, very sad stories and crazy.
Sad, crazy,
interesting,
but all true crime.
This and real. Yep.
Yeah. And so in part of October, and we'll be less than 2 weeks left, 11 days.
11?
No, less than 11 days. Today's Tuesday, so like 8 days.
9 days to
Halloween's coming up too. We'll get with that later on. But every day is Halloween if you like gory murder shit when you listen to Real Life Real Crime Dailies. All right. So let's get down some true crime time for Tuesday. And ladies first.
All right. So typically you would not want to talk about something like this, but it is a crime. So just bear with me. But I don't know if you heard that Liam Payne has.
I read that another rock star got drunk and fell off a balcony and died.
Yes, but he didn't fall off the balcony.
Tell me.
Okay. So, I mean, there's an investigation into it. Do you know who Liam Payne is?
And in One Direction, yes, I've unfortunately suffered through their rise of their career while our daughters were so fascinated with it and had to go to the concert and all that shit.
Well, so
being alert, not boys anymore.
Grown men. And he was obviously, as Woody has said, a chart-topping British boy band. He had recently gotten into some legal trouble with his ex-girlfriend, and she had to put a cease and desist on him. He was apparently in the Casa Sur Hotel when 911 was called that there was an irate person and very aggressive. And on their call is when he fell. But apparently he had gone to see another One Directioner play, and he wanted to get something straight with that other One Direction person doing his own little concert. That didn't go so well either. And so there's an investigation into actually how Liam passed. Did he fall or did he jump is the question. So
I'm sure their Brazilians are on top of that. Well, I read they trashed his hotel room. He was high on dope and drunk. Fell off the balcony.
Yeah, well, I just was saddened by the fact that he had to have a cease and desist done by his ex-girlfriend that he was apparently harassing. So
Yeah. Well, he's ceasing and desisting.
I guess so.
No more of that. He be dead. And I mean, I don't know. How old was
32.
he? 32 years old. Well, he lived the life, that's for sure. No doubt about that, right? So, look, I got, so many stories. A lot of them are on the same theme, and that usually we don't even talk about these that much. But the I don't know. I might even not get into them because I really got like 4 of these to do. Let me do another one. Uh, all right. Yeah, here's another. Like the theme that we seem to be doing about dogs lately. Got another one. And there's a 5-year-old girl in a coma, and she's fighting for her life after being mauled by a dog. And family friends say the child lost a lot of blood, may have suffered permanent brain damage. She was attacked by a dog that just wandered into the backyard of her family home in Independence, Missouri. Right? She was outside playing. Somebody's dog came and got her. And the case is under investigation as of Tuesday, October 15th, and it may lead to criminal charges. I can pretty much tell you that's going to happen. But the 5-year-old girl is only being identified as Althea. She's in critical condition, and she was attacked around 10 a.m. Tuesday, October 8th, and suffered severe lacerations from the mauling, this according to the police report. She was rushed to an ambulance at a hospital, and early indications are that an unrestrained dog entered the fenced-in backyard of the residence where the child and an adult were. The detective says that Animal Services detained the dog on the day of the attack, and the animal has since been euthanized. The girl's father says that Althea had been playing in the backyard when the neighbor's dog attacked, and Althea suffered devastating injuries, including a skull fracture, a broken collarbone, and a broken rib. And she's been placed in a medically induced coma and is fighting for her loss. But because of the loss of blood and oxygen, doctors fear Althea may have suffered permanent brain damage.
Jeez Louise.
Crazy.
That's really
I
sad.
mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm assuming it was her dad that was in the backyard, but, she wasn't out there unsupervised or
Right.
anything like that. And,
Right.
I mean, you're in your backyard, you think you're safe, and here comes a dog and eats a little one.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it. I mean, Louisiana, there's no leash law in the state of Louisiana, but there's a law, I guess, allowing your dog to roam freely.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something. If your dog comes in and kills one of my kids, I'm going for criminal charges.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's negligence or whatever, I don't know. That's just wrong. And this baby got tore up.
Yeah.
So there you go. Started off on a joyous note.
Well, I'm going to continue the joy going to Houston. A Texas man who could be the first person in the United States executed for a murder conviction tied to a diagnosis of shaken baby syndrome is facing a lethal injection Thursday evening, which would have been last Thursday. And amid assertions by his attorneys and a diverse coalition of supporters who say he's innocent and was convicted on faulty scientific evidence.
Okay, so
Everybody's saying that now, right?
Well, no, just everybody has somebody that believes they're innocent.
Yeah. Well, it gets a little bit interesting because of some of the people that do think he's innocent. Robert Robertson waited to hear whether his execution might be stopped by either Texas Governor Greg Abbott or the U.S. Supreme Court, his last 2 avenues for a stay. He is scheduled to receive a lethal injection at the state penitentiary in Huntsville. A Texas House committee is also trying to delay the execution by taking the extraordinary step of issuing a subpoena to Robertson to testify at a hearing next week about his case. He's 57 and was condemned for the 2002 killing of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki Curtis, in Palestine, Texas. He's long proclaimed his innocence. Backed by some notable Republican lawmakers, the Texas GOP megadonor and conservative activist Doug Deason, and this is where it interested me, the lead detective on the case. So the lead detective that formed the case against him now believe. I know, but I'm just like
everybody out there
trying to add. I'm just
knows what lead detective means, but you go. What did he say? Why?
Robertson's lawyers and some medical experts say his daughter died not from the abuse, but from complications related to pneumonia. He's an innocent man, and we're very close to killing him for something that he didn't do. Brian Wharton, the lead detective with Palestine Police, says. So,
What? Say it again. I don't understand.
They're saying that she actually died of complications of pneumonia.
You're saying the lead detective says, see that?
That we're very close.
He's a child pediatrician and he knows the difference between shaken baby syndrome and pneumonia.
I'm just reading what this says.
I'm asking they did an autopsy. I've been to autopsies where babies were shaken to death, and it's a very matter of fact thing when the brain is all bruised inside the skull and bleeding. I don't know how they get that from pneumonia, but keep telling me.
Robertson's lawyers waited to see if Abbott would grant Robertson a one-time 30-day reprieve. It's the only action Abbott can take in the case, as the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles denied his clemency petition. The board voted unanimously 6-1 to not recommend that Robertson's death sentence be commuted to life in prison or that his execution be delayed.
So y'all, for you don't know, that's the third to the last step. You go for the board. They voted 6-1. Now they want the governor, or some of these politicians or whoever. They're trying to get the governor or in the Supreme Court to give him another stay. That baby didn't get a stay.
The parole board has recommended clemency in a death row case only 6 times since the state resumed executions in 1982.
I would submit to you that's because the jury, their peers, found them guilty, and by the time it gets to the parole board, they've had 18 or 20 years of appeals process, which have all been denied.
So I'm just scrolling through this now just to make sure that, there's nothing here that gives me, it says, based on the totality of the evidence, a murder took place here. Mr. Robertson took the life of his almost 3-year-old daughter, and they didn't give him the stay, and he has a scheduled execution in a renewed debate of shaken baby syndrome.
Well, the for shock factor and everyone out there, you never want to see the inside of a baby's head that's been shaken to death because they don't have the protective membranes that we do, and the brain is more susceptible to bleeding and bruising, and it's absolutely horrible way to go. And you're always going to find some bleeding heart fucking liberal that wants to say, oh, yeah. And I would say that it's been through all these appeals processes. This story comes out in the reports like, so some big wigs saying this and some Republicans are saying this. Well, you know what? Fuck them. Let them shake their baby to death and be on death row. How long has it been on death row when the crime occurred?
I don't know, baby.
Yeah, well, they fuck him. Then nothing pisses me off like that.
Well, they say that the baby, they're not denying that the baby had injuries, but apparently it had pneumonia and fell out of bed and that's where the injuries came from.
Okay. And when you shake a baby's head, it goes back and forth, side to side in the skull and gets damages on all the way around it. And unless the baby was doing head bouncing, pogo sticks side to side and everything else, I think that everybody, and they don't tell you how long this motherfucker's been on death row, that all the other people, including the guy who actually did the autopsy, the pathologist, got it right. Fuck him. And he's the kind of person the death penalty was invented for. So, anyway. sorry for that baby and anybody else that knew the baby besides the piece of shit. So let's go to Alabama. And you ever hitchhiked?
No.
Well, this lady was hitchhiking, and a guy named Roy Lee Clowder, who's 37, approached her at a convenience store, or actually, he was hitchhiking, but he approached her at a victim store and asked for help, right? Well, and what did I tell you about that when people do that?
Ignore them.
Exactly. Get in your car and leave, or call 911, et cetera. But so this man, this Alabama man, was arrested after he kidnapped the woman outside a store, held her at gunpoint before forcefully taking her to a church to perform a mock wedding. Right? And this is according to law enforcement. The victim was at the convenience store in Mobile, Alabama on Friday, October 11th, when a 37-year-old Roy Lee Cloud approached her and asked her for a ride. And it's according to Mobile County Sheriff's Office. Once she agreed, don't ever do that, ladies, just don't do it. But once she agreed and the two left the store, Clowder pulls a gun and forced her into the passenger seat, and he begins. And he drove around and sexually assaulted her. That's according to the Sheriff's Office. He then took her to a church and performed a mock wedding on the steps outside the church. Right? I mean, he allegedly forced her to marry him in the mock ceremony. And it wasn't clear how the mock ceremony took place, and the sheriff's office hadn't clarified that yet, but it's coming, y'all. But the victim managed to call for help. Police were able to locate her by calling her phone. Now, the victim in this case remained calm, was able to communicate her whereabouts to a friend, and because of this, they were able to find her and locate her and get her out of the way of the dangerous situation. Now, Clowder later on was arrested at his residence after he released her, right? He marries her and releases her, I guess, early divorce. Clowder is a frequent flyer, and he's been charged with sexual abuse, robbery, kidnapping, resisting arrest, and, imagine this, a probation violation. So he's already on what they call paper. I mean, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
It takes all kinds to make the world go around. I mean, don't let them, look, if they need a ride so fucking bad and something's going on and whatever, call 911. The cops give them a ride, or give them a taxi or something. Don't let them get in the car with you. It cannot end well. I mean, it just can't. So, I don't know.
Did he perform both services, like both parts?
I guess so. No, they said she remained calm and cooperative. I don't know. I mean, she had already been raped. So, I guess she's trying to stay alive.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Well, a South Jersey detective was shot and killed during a home invasion Tuesday night, police said. Sergeant Monica Mosley of the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office was found dead in her own home on the 600 block of Buxton Road in Bridgeton, New Jersey, around 10:30 p.m. Bridgeton police arrived at the scene after reports of multiple people kicking in the front door of the home. Mosley was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators later arrived at Inspira Hospital in Bridgeton, and troopers from the New Jersey State Police were called to Cooper University Hospital in Camden. One person at one of those hospitals was detained after being treated for a gunshot wound, but it wasn't immediately clear Wednesday whether that person had a connection to the case. No suspects have been identified and no arrests have been made. The NGSP is investigating along with Cape May County Prosecutor's Office of Bridgeton Police. Sergeant Mosley was a constant friend and role model for those with whom she served and led in the law enforcement community throughout Cumberland County and beyond. She will be missed more than words can detail, but she will never be forgotten by her CCPO family. Our thoughts and prayers are with Sergeant Mosley's family at this very difficult time. She started in the prosecutor's office in 2006 as a paralegal specialist and made detective in 2009. She served in several units within the office, including the trial team, the special victims unit, and the community justice unit, and the internal affairs unit, which she led as the unit supervisor. We are resolute in making sure that Monica is remembered for who she was, how she lived, and how she touched each of our lives. Bridgeton Police Chief Michael Guymery said he's known Mosley for nearly her entire career. All of law enforcement,
New Jersey has the death penalty.
all of law enforcement feels
Sorry, go ahead.
the loss deeply, but our hearts go out to her family and friends, including those who worked with her daily. Our hearts at BPD go out to the family, friends, fellow detectives, and coworkers. And she was always loved and admired, and they're devastated.
Unfortunately, New Jersey got rid of the death penalty in 2007. And people, I don't know if, I just don't guess they'll ever get it. When you serve with someone like that, take doors together, I mean, in a residence, or you get shot at together and whatever, there's a bond like you'll never believe. So it's so much more than just the immediate family. And I always say this, it's everybody that, I mean, all her brothers and sisters that wear the badge, and you better believe they're going to handle some ass.
Well, her brother lives next door and heard the ruckus and went over and found her.
You stay on top of this one soon and let us know, because it's gonna be nation news. I bet you it's a retaliation for some type of case.
Yeah.
And you know that the stuff, threats, shit that I've got over the years, but it sounds like hopefully she got off at least one shot.
Mhm.
And if it was multiple people, fortunately they don't have the death penalty, so they can't put that on the table as a bargaining chip. But hopefully there's cameras in the neighborhoods, something's going to lead to it. Should just doesn't happen like that.
Right.
If you're going to pick any home to do a home invasion, what are the chances that you're picking the home of a longtime detective?
Mhm.
Right? So they are fucked. And especially, well, yeah, you better believe the police are going to take care of their own.
Mhm.
Well, and I hate that. Rest in peace. So I'm going to tell you about another detective, and this one's from New York City. And this one, he's not a good guy. And he was a retired detective, and he shot and killed his wife before turning the gun on himself
Okay.
and their 3 kids.
Oh.
Yep. So a retired New York City police detective shot, killed his wife after an early morning argument on Wednesday, October 16th, before turning the gun on himself, according to police. The Yonkers Police Department said that retired NYPD Detective Sean O'Neill, 54, shot himself in the head moments after shooting his wife, Arlene O'Neill, 47, several times in her body while the 3 children were home. The 3 O'Neill children were unharmed. That's bullshit, because I'm sure they heard the gunshots and they're going to be scarred for life.
Mhm.
The first responders attempted life-saving measures on Arlene, who, unfortunately, it didn't work out. She died because her wounds, was pronounced deceased on the scene. Investigators determined that a dispute took place, resulting in Sean O'Neill shooting Arlene, like I told you, multiple times with a handgun, and before he killed himself. The kids, 15, 13, and 11 years old, right? And of course, Arlene, the family talks about how truly remarkable she was, dedicated, hardworking teacher for over 25 years in the Eastchester School District, a fearless mother, and a thoughtful sister, and a kind friend. They said that Arlene spent countless hours shaping the minds of her students, just like you said, that our 3 boys were her greatest pride and joy. And, quote, Arlene exemplifies strength, kindness, and resilience. She poured her heart into both her classroom and her home, always putting others before herself, right? Of course, the cops are taking care of the kids. They put them with some family members after the shooting. Everybody's upset.
That's heartbreaking.
And of course, the school district issued their thoughts and prayers in the community. And one neighbor says, words just can't describe what happened. And it's just devastating for the kids, devastating for the family. And ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
And normally I don't like to do, this.
Hey, y'all, changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cyndi got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdowns scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Even when I was working as a detective, we never, ever released suicides to the news media.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it does cause copycats, and they've proven that over the years. But shit like this, I just, there were like so many of them in a couple days. I knew you might want to kill me right now, but you're not going to do it.
No.
Especially not when the kids are home.
No.
Yeah. Right.
Especially.
Not making,
No, definitely not making light.
Fuck that dude.
But that could have been us. I mean, you were a cop, I was a teacher,
That's right.
like.
And that's why I want to read it. But, and y'all, come on, man. Fuck. Put the gun up. Beat the motherfucker up or something. Go to jail for that, but don't kill her when your kids are home. And these aren't kids, these are teenagers.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine walking in and seeing your daddy has just murdered your mama and then blew his own brains out?
I know.
Fuck that. That's fucking stupid.
Well, I don't know. And I don't feel like they're at the age, and of course I wasn't there, but they're at the age where they would be hiding in a closet, like 2 or 3 years old. They were
Sleep. They said it was early morning hours, but you hear
exactly
multiple gunshots, and who's going to be the first ones to see them? It's going to be the kids.
Yeah, right.
There you have it.
That's just devastating. Well, the Phoenix police are facing some widespread criticism.
Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix, Mississippi,
Phoenix, Arizona. They are facing widespread criticism following the release of a body camera footage that showed 2 white officers violently using a stun gun and punching a deaf Black man with cerebral palsy. So on Monday, attorneys for the 34-year-old man, Tyrone McAlpin, who has been charged with resisting arrest and 2 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer, released body camera footage of McAlpin's arrest on August 19th outside of a Circle K in Phoenix, Arizona. According to a police report, officers responded to the call about a fight in the store. And the 911 caller said a white man was causing a disturbance in the store. The police officers, Benjamin Harris and Kyle Sue, approached the man who claimed that he was assaulted while trying to stop someone from stealing a bike. The man proceeded to point to McAlpin, who was walking nearby, as the aggressor. Body cam footage showed the officers approaching McAlpin in the parking lot, where they ordered him to lie on the ground. In the police incident report, his hands raised to deliver targeted punches at my face or head and multiple swings. So essentially,
Mom, it was all together, and I didn't get it. Can you clarify? You're saying that he identified him. The guy identifies him as a target, and they go outside, and then you say body camera, and then there are hands up, and then you were saying stuff's going on.
So the body cam footage on the officer showed McAlpin, which was apparently the aggressor, in the parking lot, and they ordered him to lie on the ground.
Right. That's common standard practice because you don't know what you're doing.
In the police incident report, Harris wrote, his hands raised to deliver targeted punches at my face and head and multiple swings with closed fists at my head.
So what you're saying is, in between the lines, the video camera showed that he had his hands above his head, and this dirty cop wrote in his report that the guy was swinging on.
That's what I'm gathering. Yes.
So I was trying to clarify.
Okay. Harris also claimed that McAlpin had a fighting stance with his legs planted for stability and force delivery, and that he made it clear to me in the moment that he was not simply assaulting me in order to get away, but engaging in assaults to cause me harm and injury.
So
the cop is saying that this man was the aggressor and ready to fight.
Right.
However, the camera footage, as well as additional surveillance camera footage, showed Harris lunging out of his car first and charging towards McAlpin.
Harris is the cop.
Yes. Who initially had his arms at his sides. aside. The body camera footage proceeds to show one of the officers tasing him while McAlpin was pinned to the ground, and officers stun him 4 times. And the body camera footage also showed the officers punching McAlpin at least 10 times on the head and back. At one point, a woman who identified herself as McAlpin's wife arrived on the scene and told the officers that her husband was disabled. And this was heard on the body cam footage. He's deaf and he's got cerebral palsy, and I've been on the phone with him since he was at Circle K. And so she's identified in the police report as Jessica Ulasek. She said, I've been on the phone with him the whole time. He didn't assault nobody.
I guess you'd be on the phone with him if the video camera shows otherwise, but go ahead.
And then the officers made no mention of McAlpin's cerebral palsy in the incident report. And McAlpin's attorney, Jesse Showalter, says he's deaf. He couldn't understand what they were doing, and he had done nothing wrong. Everything I see in the video is Tyron just trying to avoid being harmed by these officers, and that only makes them increase the escalation and the violence they are using. So,
well, a couple things on that. Certainly, fuck them if they're dirty. But in the beginning, you said that the officers went in the store, and the victim then pointed out the guy. On that thing, it says the cops get out of the car and immediately attack this guy.
right.
So it must mean somebody's got it wrong. Probably the guy called it in and said it's black male in the park lot wearing such and such, and they get out. But, 2 kinds of cops. Ones that need the badge to feel like a man. That's the ones who get the licks in after you're down. There's no reason to tase somebody 4 times if they're not complying. It's a shitty situation, and I mean, the guy being deaf and having cerebral palsy, cops aren't medical doctors, they wouldn't know that, but that's a far cry from this dude swinging at him, taking a fighting stance.
I don't want to be questioning the wife, but if he's deaf, how are they on the phone?
Exactly.
Right.
So I don't care what color you are, black, white, purple, green, yellow, whatever, fuck you if you're a dirty cop. And flip side of that is, if you are a bad guy and you ball up on the cops, better be prepared to have your ass whipped until you get taken into custody, because they have the right to use whatever force necessary to bring the situation under control. We weren't there. I hate it if it's a bad cop, fuck them. And if it was the guy that was bad, then I don't know. Yeah, that's the way that it is. But it's every night, every minute. And people don't think about that. It's every minute of every night when you're out there working and that radio goes off. Response to 911, such. Response to 911, such. Respond to 911. And you never know what you're walking into.
Right.
It could be something like this. It could be simple as, hey, I thought that was my bike, and everything could have been fine, and it turns into the shit show it turned into.
Right.
Right. So I told you about keeping the themes. It's like you and I have said on past episodes, but this one, I don't do these normally, but this is crazy. And we're going back to Arizona. A lady, Monet Newton, 24, was found dead alongside her ex-boyfriend, Chase Cooper, according to police. An Arizona woman who was set to graduate with a master's program, with a master's degree this week, was fatally shot. And what authorities say was another murder-suicide. She was killed by her ex-boyfriend. Now, Monet Newton, 24, was found dead in a Glendale, Arizona apartment on Tuesday, October the 15th, after police officers responded to the house. Right, and they find her dead. Police also found 22-year-old Chase Cooper shot dead inside the residence, and they believe it's a case of murder-suicide. And the initial information leads investigators to believe this was a murder-suicide conducted by Chase Cooper, police said in a statement. Now, Newton was found by her family members who had flown in for this. I want to tell a story. Newton was found by her family members who had flown in for her graduation on Wednesday. Right? Can you imagine that? Your baby's like we got
Yeah.
one about to graduate from the graduate program.
Right.
And Monet's family expected her to pick them up from the airport. But when Monet did not show up, her family became concerned. We said their statement. Monet's family and friends were unable to contact her, and therefore they went to her apartment. Once there, they found her body.
Mm.
This family was getting ready to celebrate something so special, something that she worked so hard for, and the celebration turned to tragedy immediately, Jose Santiago of the police department said. And police say that Newton and Cooper were in a brief romantic relationship that had ended recently. And according to her LinkedIn profile, Newton previously graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology, our daughter, and business management from the Grand Canyon University. For her master's degree, she has studied industrial psychology at the same university.
What's the stuff you study?
Is it really? No shit. Y'all, our second oldest daughter is about to graduate and with her master's and is going back to doctorate and the same thing. And fucking murder-suicide, man. And, I hate that. Y'all don't do it. Look, suicide's a real thing. If you're thinking about hurting yourself, call someone. Just call it. I mean, nobody wants to see you dead. But if you're going to do it, don't fucking be a P word and take out your significant other before you do it to yourself.
No.
I mean, what are you doing? Ooh, I'm going to show you, motherfucker. I'm going to kill you. Then I'm going to kill myself. Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point? Yeah. I mean, do something, kill them, and then at least you get to gloat over it. Yeah. I'm serious. Well, fuck you. You're going to kill a motherfucker and then kill yourself? What's the point? Now you both gone.
I know.
But they're at two today.
That's really
and just don't do it, people.
There are lots of places to get help.
Call 911. Somebody's not going to help.
That's
they
exactly
put you in
right.
jail in a padded cell or whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's not worth. And you know what? Just call somebody. It's not worth killing yourself. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Look, shit gets bad in everybody's lives. We get it. Shit's been bad in our lives.
That's right.
And we don't kill ourselves and each other. All right, carrying on. Joyful day.
Joy. Well, I'm gonna. I would like you to, if you can, if you don't want to, I'll edit it out. But tell the story of you getting attacked by a panther.
No, I'm not telling a story. That's a swim story for another day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a swim will be one of our upcoming podcasts. Someone who isn't me.
Okay, so they'll have to stay tuned to hear about
So that's a 4 beer minimum at least.
Okay. Well, authorities, and this is not a funny story, but I was trying to lighten it up a little bit with a swim story, but authorities in Montana say a 911 caller discovered his friend dead in a tent in what appeared to have been a fatal bear attack.
Fuck that. Eat a bear, I ain't getting killed by one.
But soon, officials discovered the camper was actually the victim of a brutal murder. So Dustin Jersom, 35, was found dead in his tent on Saturday morning along Moose Creek Road north of Big Sky, Montana. I bet that's beautiful, right?
Absolutely. Big Sky country. Yeah, it is. Montana is one of the most beautiful places on earth. One problem is it gets too fucking cold.
Yeah. Gallatin County Sheriff Dan Springer said Wednesday that this body was found. A friend who was supposed to have met Jerson went searching for him when he didn't show up as scheduled on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The friend ultimately discovered Jersom's body in a tent at a makeshift campsite and called 911, telling responders the death appeared to have been caused by a bear attack. An agent with the Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Agency who visited the site, however, found no signs of bear activity. And investigators said they soon found evidence of a vicious attack, which is now being investigated as a homicide.
But not a bear attack.
Definitely not. Gersom, who was last seen on Thursday afternoon, sustained multiple chop wounds.
Chop. Must have been an accident, Kim.
Including to his skull, and the autopsy showed. So he was chopped on his skull. He was brutally killed at the campsite, and we need your help, Springer said, adding that his detectives were working all hours of the day and night to find his killer.
At least they didn't say it was self-inflicted.
Right?
Right? It was slitting your throat's bad enough with multiple blows to your head with an axe.
Exactly. No suspects have been identified, and Springer said that
They better be all up in that motherfucker's ass that reported him missing.
the remote area of the crime scene where there's no cell phone service was making the investigation much more difficult.
Crazy.
So people have asked me if there's a threat to this community, and the answer is we don't know.
There's a threat to that dude in the tent.
We don't have enough information at this time. The sheriff, of course, urged residents to be careful.
I bet you that they're playing their cards close to the vest. They got something.
Yeah.
They look, just like being everywhere with cameras and all that. You go that remote. First of all, how did this dude know where he was?
Exactly. That was.
Now, look, I've had to pull dead bodies out of the woods, and the people that were hunting fell out of stands and shit like that. And
but strangers found them.
Oh, that we had to go find them.
Okay.
And people, when they reported they didn't come home,
right.
Where were they? Oh, they went hunting. Where's the hunting lease? And you go out there and you can't get anybody that's on the hunting lease or whatever. Then you got to go search for them until you find them.
Right.
What I'm saying is, you fucked up my train of thought. That the guy had to know if he's in the middle of asshole nowhere. He had to know he was there to go find him. It's not like you driving out in big sky country in the woods and just gonna find one lone tent somewhere.
No. Right.
So it's just like that. The camera's going out. There's got to be a camera. Let's say it's one road in, and somewhere along that road there's something. Somebody's gonna have seen something. Back in the day, we'd have set up roadblocks and stopped everybody that comes through for 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever, and say, hey, have you seen anything? Show the victim's photo or where, was his vehicle there? There's all kinds of shit was it robbery? Yeah, you're gonna hear more about this case. But the guy saying it's a bear attack, and it may not be him.
So they do bring up the vehicle, but it's not. Let me explain. We do know that someone was out there who killed someone in a very heinous way. So if you're in the woods, you need to be paying attention. He was driving a black 2013 Ford F-150 with a black topper and a silver aluminum ladder rack. And the police have asked people to come forward with any information they might have. If you saw someone driving the truck in town, please reach out to us.
Well, fuck, that's a clue.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell us the truck was stolen?
Well, I'm just.
The truck is stolen, and it definitely wasn't a bear. Bear doesn't have his driver's license.
And so his sister described him as a skilled tradesman and a loving father, and please help find who did this.
Well, and the plot thickens, and it may not be a threat to their community anymore because the dude may have hauled ass, but look, 2 people ended up in the woods. They're going to dig through his shit, and they're going to find out who he went camping with, and whatever's going to come out, and murder's murder. Big sky country, bayous, Louisiana, it doesn't matter. Killing.
Killing's killing.
And it's fucked up. Right. You get a lot of ways I would want to go besides. I really don't want my throat slit, and I don't want to be not in the head.
No.
You can cut off like my arm or something. I believe that wouldn't bother me so bad. Cut it from more already. I wouldn't care about that. I don't want my skull.
I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah, and then Slim's been down that road before.
Yes.
And no fuck with the head. Right? Fuck that. Sorry for him and prayers for his family and all that. So, y'all, we're going to end today's episode of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. And again, Jim Chapman will be back. I am getting my continued education. I got to do it every 2 years to maintain my Louisiana polygraph license, which I've had 25 years this year. And so I can't lose that.
No. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And but the conferences are, you know, they give you the latest and the greatest on testing techniques and different types of things. Really some great presenters and stuff like that. A really great bunch of guys and gals, mostly law enforcement and some private examiners in this group. But it's a, good time. And so Sid and I are going to record today's episode and tomorrow's episode. We'll turn it back over to Jim Chapman for Thursday's episode. And then following Monday, Jim and I will be back in the studio to do it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because we record day early. So the following week, you'll get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. That's right. Yeah, tune into the original. Scott Peterson is only like 25 fucking episodes in, but it's really interesting.
It really is.
And I got a lot of compliments from people on it. So y'all, I'll take a deep dive in that case, like all these documentaries and bullshit that have been out recently. It's just not even close.
Mm.
And we wouldn't be talking about this asshole if it wasn't scorched. And so the whole premise of that, and basically it's a series on Real Life, Real Crime Original, is that they fucked up the case. Both the prosecution and they scorched the case so bad. So many simple things that could have been done, and we wouldn't even talk about this idiot. But they did it. So, and it's score. So go check it out. It should be wrapping up in the next couple of weeks. And then the lots big changes coming November 1. Starting Friday, November 1, the first hashtag justice for beep. And I'm going to tell you, I think we'll start advertising it at the end of next week.
I think so. Yeah.
Week for our Patreon and convicts.
Yeah.
Subscribers. Thank you so much for doing that. And listen, all the videos and basically videos, because you'll get to, all listeners will get to hear the way that I'm putting the story together, and hear these recorded everything, and from 911 responders, 911 calls, first responders, to detective interrogations, to courtroom shit. Yeah, it's all recorded, but also we have the videos of 90% of it, and that stuff will be put behind. It'll be put up for Patreon as convicts, and you gotta have to agree that you will not share it publicly. And other people, what I choose to distribute during the storytelling of this young lady, who ultimately we hope to get justice for. We'll explain it more later on.
Yeah.
Right. And so we'll start advertising that a week from Friday, right?
Yeah.
This Friday.
Okay.
All right. Good deal. And Real Life, Real Crime Community app, download it for free in the App Store. TikTok. Check out our TikTok. Some cool shit on there. And it's under Real Life, Real Crime, y'all, not Woody Overton.
Right.
Right. And I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. And our co-host Jim Chapman, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
Until next time, peace.